Hi guys, it's Ian from Circle Software and I want to show you how to make a website in just a couple of minutes using Cedar Framework. So basically we've got an empty index.tpl file here that we're working with and that'll serve up your home page. So let's get started. So basically, first things first, I need a header. So I'm going to use the header smart tag here. Okay, and there it is. That's set up our strict HTML and all our meta headers and everything else that you need inside there to get your website up and running. But also I want to include my style sheet. So anything in between these header tags will be included inside the header. And there you have it. I've included the link to my style sheet, and I've also used the theme in the link, and that'll point the style sheet to my template that I'm working on, which is called tutorial. Okay, next things next is I still need to do the body, and I'll also want to finish that off with the HTML tag, just like normal HTML. Okay, next things next is I want to include my wrapper, which will wrap up everything. There we have it. Now here we go. I want to include inside this wrapper some content from Cedar. So basically I'm going to wrap this in a content div. And use the content smart tag. Now this comes as an array, so I can actually invoke the content key. And that'll basically grab the stacked page of the main area and dump it in this content div. Now basically in my design I have a big heading in a h1 tag, and this heading is called "This is the best blog in the world." Now as you can see, I've just written that as straight HTML, but I want them to be able to edit that tagline whenever they log into Cedar. So what I can do here is wrap it in another smart tag called editable, and I'll give this smart tag a name called website title, and I'll close it off at the end. Okay, now every time I log into Cedar, I'll be able to add and edit whatever I want between those two tags. Now also inside the wrapper I am looking for a sidebar, so let's write the sidebar. I'll call it sidebar div, and I'll finish the div just there. And inside I'm going to use another smart tag, and it's simply called sidebar. Now that'll let the user build their own sidebar by adding widgets, text, images, whatever they want inside that div. And also the two content areas, which is here, the main content area and the sidebar area, are both interchangeable in design mode. So when you go into design mode in Cedar and I want to move a photograph from the sidebar, I can simply drag it straight into the content area. Also, outside the wrapper we want a footer. So let's write our footer div, and you guessed it, we're going to use another smart tag called footer. And also these three smart tags are all interchangeable. So like I moved the photograph from sidebar to content, I can move the photograph back from content and into footer. And that lets the user control each area of their website. And basically now we're finished. We've completed our homepage. So there's another compulsory file that we must have in our website, in our theme. So I'm going to copy that HTML and I'm going to do a new file called page. Now this page file will control all the internal pages. So your index.tpl served up your home page. This will control defaultly all your internal pages. So in my design I don't have a sidebar for the internal pages, and I don't need this h1 tag. However, I am going to write a h2 tag and put the page title automatically in. So I'm going to do the content array again, and the key is called title. And there you have it. When they go to create a new page, the title will show up in between those H2 tags, as well as the content for that page. I'm going to keep my footer, and there we have it. So now defaultly when they go to new page, it'll defaultly choose the page.tpl. But when I create a contact us page, I don't want it to be the default page.tpl. So how do we get around that? Well, we can actually create as many templates as we like. Index and page are compulsory items. However, we can make a contact template, which they can choose out of the list when they go to create new pages. So basically I want to do the same thing. I want to get rid of the H1 tag, and I don't want to have any title this time. I want to get rid of the sidebar. But now I want to create a form for the user. So basically I'm going to get rid of this content tag, and inside the content div I'm going to write myself a form. So with the smart tags, I'm going to do a form smart tag, and it takes one attribute called email, and this is the email where when the contact form is submitted, all the data goes to. So I'm going to do it to mail@circlesoftware.com.au, and basically the form is built out of an unordered list, so which makes it easy. You don't have to design any of the forms. This smart tag will handle that for you. So I'm going to start my unordered list here, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And I'm going to start my first line. So my first element in my form is going to be your name, and I'm going to make it required equals true. So I've given the li an actual attribute of required, and that'll basically handle all the error validation and stuff. So if they don't enter name, it'll pop up with a message. The next line, I'm going to add phone number, but that's not going to be required. And of course, when they contact me, I want to get them to leave a message. So this message also want to be required equals true. And I also want it to be a text box. So I'll do that as well. So I've given it an attribute required equals true and text box equals true. So defaultly these are all just input boxes, and this one's going to be a nice big text box. And basically that'll render a form which you can style up. And it's easy as that. So now what I want to do is actually show a message if that form is successful or if it has thrown an error. So just above my form, I want to create another smart tag, and I just want to call it form message. And what that'll do for me is just give all the validation and return a message to the user. So there you have it. No mess, no fuss. Website created in a few minutes. Now all I have to do is style up the website. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Put a few images in and go from there. Thank you.